Denise here, and just a quick chat about wintering your orchids. What I'm going to say to you will make a lot more sense if you watch Roger Frampton's video. I don't have the amount of time he does, or that he's allotted to post to YouTube. I only have a few minutes. I still run in the 80s and 70s and pretty much 60s at night. I got a lot of things that are still growing. I mentioned that I will still be watering, and yes, but at a reduced rate. I mentioned that I still will be fertilizing at a very reduced rate. I can tell you about back in August, I was using 12 gallons of water for my potted plants and some of my mounts. I was watering them heavily on a weekly basis. I'm now, over the several months, have decreased that to, I guess, 5 gallons for my potted plants and some of my mounted. I also don't soak my vandas as long. I still water, but my mounts and baskets not daily anymore. They're down to maybe 2 to 3 times a week, which is fixing to be highly reduced. And yes, my pots, I only have 1 day a week I can tend to. And so they're still getting watered, but not as much. Not as much. And my fertilizer percentage has highly decreased. Highly. I still will use a little bit of water and fertilizer every time I water, which basically is on Sundays. Sorry, I know, Roger. Things like my catasetums, which I'll go into more detail in another video. The other one didn't do it justice. They still will get a spritz. That's about it. They might get 2 right now, and in a couple of weeks, down to 1. There's a reason for this. If you watch Roger's video, you'll understand a little bit more with the details. You just really don't want to suddenly change things for reasons like that. That's a bud on my Brassivola nodosa. Things like that. He's still I'm sorry. I'm still recovering. He's still growing. But you know he's going to stop soon. Things like this, I got to do something about. It's not the right time of year. I believe I gave it too much moisture, and I'm going to have to deal with that tomorrow. My mounts used to be every single day. Off and on, it decreased depending upon the sunshine, and depending upon what they were. But now, I'm down to, I don't know, 2 to 3 times a week, depending upon the weather. It's not so much the cold. It's not so much the daylight for me at this point in time, because at this point in time, I'm still getting close to 11 hours of sunshine. But the decrease in lighting will change how I water. I can't go into great detail because I don't have the time. But Roger did it well. have quite a few things in full bloom, which takes a lot of energy out of the plant. So that's what you have to be mindful of. But you also have to combine that with the temperatures, what's happening that day, what's going to be happening in the future. A week and a half from now, I will get close to the 40s. And an expected daytime temperature of mid 70s, more or less. But I don't know for how long. I keep watching the weather forecast. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I still have not put up my plastic on the outside of my porch. The reason is, if it jumps up to the mid 80s, like it did about a month ago, it got down near 40s. If I had had the plastic up a few days later, it would have been in the 80s, upper 80s, close to 90s, and it would have become too hot in here, and they would not have been able to breathe well. So, that becomes a quandary. And like I said, it all exists. It all exists for all of us at different points in time in the year. Roger's running into it right now, and he did a very excellent video informing everybody on what one can expect and providing considerations for wintering your orchids. So, anyway, I guess that's all I have to talk about at the moment. I encourage you to be mindful of the needs of your orchids, whether they need more water or not. Be mindful that many are deciduous, and many go dormant. But even at dormant, you still must be mindful of what their needs are. Because, as Roger says, out there where they come from, sure, they may go dormant, but they don't get nothing. Absolutely zero. Sure, you reduce the water. Sure, you reduce the fertilizer. Absolutely, positively so. But be mindful that you could kill them. Talk to you later. Bye.